Gertrude the guinea pig learns that a reason doesn't make it okay. There once was a guinea pig called Gertrude. She lived with Mr. and Mrs. Potts and Tom Tortoise. Gertrude was very loved. She had nuggets and carrots and spinach, and they lived in a lovely little neat garden. One day, Gertrude was nibbling grass in their garden and she smelt a smell. Sniff, sniff. She could smell dandelion leaves. Next door, Butch Bunny was nibbling dandelion leaves. "Nom, nom, nom, nom. These are delicious. Bet you wish you had some of these. Nom, 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 nom," said Butch. Gertrude felt sad. Her garden was too neat. There were no dandelions, and she really wanted some. The next day, the same thing happened. Butch showed off about his leaves, and Gertrude felt sad. And the next day, and the next, until one day Butch's owners didn't let him out of his hutch. Aha, thought Gertrude, here's my chance. She snuck under the fence and stuffed herself full of dandelion leaves. Actually, it made her feel a bit sick. Just then, Mrs. Potts came into the garden. She couldn't see Gertrude, and she panicked. "Gertrude! Gertrude!" she called. Gertrude was so round from all the dandelion leaves she'd eaten, she couldn't fit back through the fence. Squeak, 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 squeak. Mrs. Potts heard her and hurried around next door's garden to get her. "Oh, my poor baby! Were you trapped in the next door's garden? Did you just want some lovely dandelion leaves? Don't worry, darling. I'll get you some next time. Don't ever leave our garden again. That's naughty." She understood my reason, thought Gertrude. That's good. From then on, Mr. and Mrs. Potts collected dandelion leaves for Gertrude in the local park. One day, Gertrude had a sore foot. It hurt, and the hurt feeling came out in some very loud squeaks. Tom Tortoise was ambling down the garden near Gertrude. Gertrude's paw was sore, and she felt grumpy. She needed to let the grumps out. Squeak, squeak, squeak! She went right into Tom's ear. Tom got a headache, but it helped Gertrude get her grumps out, so she did it again and again. Poor Tom! Tom told Mrs. Potts. Mrs. Potts took Gertrude to a vet and got her paw all better, and she rubbed Tom's head to help with his headache. But Tom was cross. "But I had a reason," said Gertrude. "My paw was sore." "Just 'cause you had a sore paw, you didn't need to hurt me," said Tom. "I had a reason," squeaked Gertrude, and they had an argument. Just then, in flew Wendy the wise owl. She listened as Tom and Gertrude told her everything that had happened. She thought for a bit, and then she said, "Gertrude, you're right. You did have a reason for squeaking. When your paw was sore, we all felt sad for you and your sore paw. We understood. But just because we understand your reason doesn't make it okay. It isn't okay for you to hurt Tom's head with squeaking. Here's what you need to remember. A reason doesn't mean it's okay. Just like when you stole the dandelions from Butcher's garden. We understood why you did it. You felt sad that you didn't have any. And we cared about that. But a reason doesn't make it okay to steal dandelions or to make Mrs. Potts worried." "Interesting," said Gertrude. "What about when Minnie Mouse hit Vinnie Vole because Vinnie hit her?" "Just the same," said Wendy. "We understand why Minnie did it. We know there's a reason and she needs help, but it doesn't make it okay. We can't let people keep hitting each other." "What about Robbie Robin?" asked Tom Tortoise. He was attacked by a cat and got very scared. After that, when his friends got close, he'd peck them. "Exactly," said Wendy. "We understand why Robbie does that. He was so scared. He needs help with his scared feelings. But we can't just let him keep pecking people. A reason doesn't make it okay." And so, Gertrude, that means it's not okay for you to squeak at Tom when you're in pain or something is wrong. If you can't remember this in the moment, and that's really hard, you might need some help. That might mean keeping you away from Tom when you're in pain, or it might mean you missing out on something you like dandelion leaves as an extra treat, to help you remember next time. Was Gertrude perfectly behaved after this chat with Wendy? Of course not. She still makes mistakes. Everybody does. But she learnt an important lesson that day. She might have a really good reason for doing something. It might be that people understood her reason and help her. but that doesn't make doing wrong things okay. The end.